So you drafted DeAndre Swift to be the cornerstone of your roster for a decade plus, and you expected him to be RB1 plug and play, no worries, until the year 2032. However, the once sure thing pass catching back with the high floor has turned into a bit of a bust this year in fantasy, and we're wondering what has gone wrong for DeAndre Swift. Well, the first thing is he's in a three-way timeshare, and it's week 14 right now. Justin Jackson just had his first rushing touchdown of the year, and last week in week 13 he had 5 targets. He is the third back in the committee with DeAndre Swift and Jamal Williams. Justin Jackson getting 25 to 30% of the snaps. Jamal Williams leading the NFL in rushing touchdowns and getting the vast majority of the carries on the Lions. DeAndre Swift just hasn't been it this year. He looked like a potential league winner in week 1 when he put up 26, but he's been on the injury report ever since then. So let's just dig in a little bit. What's going on? Well, for one, he's been banged up a whole bunch. He has yet to eclipse his 70% snap share at any point this year, despite passing that figure 5 times last year. And he's gotten 5+ targets just 4 times in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 games he's played. He's gotten 5 or more targets in just 4 of them, as opposed to last year when it looked like at one point he was going to lead the NFL in targets when he had 11 targets in week 1 for 32 points last year in week 1. What's the big idea here? What's the big idea? DeAndre Swift currently Dynasty running back 10, which is the lowest his value has been in quite some time. He was all the way up to RB2 at one point. Now it's all the way down to RB10. He's beginning to look like Danny Woodhead. Is Danny Woodhead right? And let me look up Danny Woodhead's current numbers. If DeAndre Swift was Danny Woodhead, I don't know how happy his drafters would be. I mean, Woodhead had a nice long career. He just couldn't stay on the field. I remember I drafted him when he played like 1 or 2 games, and then he got hurt for the year. Really unfortunate. Look, Swift is priced as less than a spectacular option at this point in his career, but that's what he is. His value-adjacent players are Cooper Kupp and Jameson Williams. Would you rather have Cooper Kupp, Jameson Williams, or DeAndre Swift? I'd probably rather have DeAndre Swift out of those 3. I mean, let's be real, right? If everything goes right, what are we looking at DeAndre Swift value-wise next year? Well, he's a top 5 running back. He doesn't have to pass much. He's kind of in a similar situation as Travis Etienne. He could easily pass Etienne. He could easily pass McCaffrey. He could easily pass Nick Chubb. He could easily pass Austin Eckler and Josh Jacobs. These guys are all older than him, with the exception of Etienne, who's the same age. But he could get ahead of all of them. If he comes in healthy next year, he's looking spry, he's looking free of injury, and he's catching passes. And Jamal Williams is gone next year, so there's a world where he's a top 5 running back and all is well, and we're looking at him as a foundational asset for the next decade once again. However, it could go wrong, and there is a world where if he keeps staying on the injury report, 23 turns into 24, which turns into 25, and then you end up in the land of misfit with Aaron Jones and Alvin Kamara and J.K. Dobbins. I feel like J.K. Dobbins, current day J.K. Dobbins is about as low as DeAndre Swift could go within the next year. Because that's major injury. And Swift already has too much pass catching pedigree to fall much lower than that. I mean, Dobbins is really just a runner. But yeah, it's kind of hard to have a take on DeAndre Swift in Dynasty. But next year he could be anywhere between RB22 and RB4, potentially higher. I don't see him passing Brees or JT. But him passing Kenneth Walker, I mean, Kenneth Walker is still 0 in the passing game. That could be possible at some point in time. But